Stolen Sports Talk worldwide with some news from the world of boxing. So y'all know what time it is. You ain't in a rush to get concussed. Now we know Deontay Wilder just beat Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz. Wilder's still the heavyweight champion of the world in an excellent fight. An excellent fight. This is going to probably be, one of those top fights of the year because it's in the heavyweight division. A very, very good fight for heavyweights, like we saw with Anthony Joshua and Wladimir Klitschko. A good fight, both guys being hurt, showing their resilience, getting up. People that are undefeated or win most of the time are special. That's the reason why. And that just shows it. And that fights like that are awesome. So I kind of enjoyed that one. That was a real good one right there. Now, let's talk Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz. Right? What's his moniker? The Boogeyman. You know something? Ain't nothing about that gonna change. This man will remain the Boogeyman. Meaning, I don't see him getting many fights. I don't see him getting many fights. I don't see this, right now, I've seen it happen in the other divisions. Right now, he could be seen as an opportunity from all of the guys that are not in those top four that we're talking about with Anthony Joshua, Joseph Parker, Deontay Wilder, and Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz himself. Those guys right on the outskirts of that. The Dillian Whites of the world, Dominic Breazeales, whatever, just names like that. You can see Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz as an opportunity right now. Like, I'm going to do better than Deontay Wilder. He only did that to him. Watch the reaction. It's not going to be none of that. The only thing you're going to probably hear about, especially from fans, you're going to be hearing about, well, Deontay Wilder should rematch him or something. Right? He's not going to hear, hey, other people could fight this guy. Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz, his phone's not going to be ringing too much. I don't see it happening because the man is dangerous. Everyone saw in that fight how dangerous this man is. Things he did in that fight, we're talking about in the first video, but we're talking about those counter lefts. To have the courage to stand in there when Deontay Wilder is swinging a right at you to make sure that he misses and to counter that with the left. When hurt, Deontay runs up with that wild, okay, I got you hurt, now I'm about to just go crazy. Letting them know from the beginning, I'm throwing fire here. You come in here with that, you're gonna get countered, and in a bad way, right? Having Deontay Wilder almost out, was able to get on his toes even late in that fight. Wasn't too tired. Was more tired than Deontay. This is what happened. His stamina is an issue. We've talked about it several times, but I'm gonna tell you something. Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz is still a very, very dangerous heavyweight, and I think everybody saw that, and I think he's not getting too many calls. It's still the Boogeyman. Nothing's changed. It's another fight. It's in a long line of these fights that have been happening recently where the loser of the fight, his stock has risen, or at least stayed the same. I was saying Canelo against Gennady Golovkin. Canelo didn't do enough to win that fight, but he looked good with his defense. If you didn't know it before that fight, you saw it in that fight. You definitely give him a chance in the next fight. Who else looked good and lost? Wladimir Klitschko against Joshua looked good in that fight. Lost it, but looked good in that fight. Good fighters lose in efforts, but still look good. There's a couple of other ones that I can't think of right now. But in losing efforts, look good when you're like, hey man, I really like to see this guy again. So Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz is still the Boogeyman. I'm interested to see what kind of fights he's going to get presented to them, right? Because fighting for a purse. I'm hearing the purses are 2.1 for Deontay and 500,000. I thought it was 1.5 for Deontay and $1 million for Ortiz. It's somewhere in that realm. But the man could be in couple of more lucrative fights, seeing as though he's getting older. Let's not hope to stall this man out. We saw that he's world championship level. His niveau is up with the best of them. So he should be fighting the best. Or guys who want to prove that they're the best. Instead of fighting marginal guys and then calling out the best guys in the division. Like my man in the lower divisions, or you have the middleweight division right now. You have an IBF mandatory, Derevchenko. He fought a guy with he was 20 wins and 23 losses. And then after the fight, calling out, the Canelos and the Gennady Golovkins of the world. Okay, he's a mandatory. But still, after a fight like that, you don't want to call them out. You just, obviously, I want to fight these guys. I'm the mandatory. I was just staying warm tonight. You know, you don't call people out after marginal wins. Now, this Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz is right there. Anybody could say, hey, this is an opportunity. Let's call Louis the Real King Kong Ortiz. But remember what I told you. It ain't happening. And why? Because this man, he is still the boogeyman. And we got to give him props and love for that. Now, hopefully, he has a couple of good fights in the future before he retires soon. I mean, like I say, he's old. So, sometimes, guys, this is what's the good thing about boxing. Sometimes, you can lose and, still look good. They don't like it. A lot of people don't like to lose their O's and stuff. And I think that this is a good fight that I've been seeing lately. I've been keeping my eye on some of these guys that are losing these fights, but they still have done a good account for themselves. And I think that's good because there's a future for them too. It's not over just because you lost. And this is a good example of that. So congratulations also to Louis Real King Kong Ortiz for being in a great fight and for scaring some people off. Doma Sports Talk Worldwide. I'm up out of here, y'all.